I will not bring you a federal project. I go to Louisville and I say, we're out of money. I can't bring you a project. I can try to leave the money in Louisville. I can try to leave the money in Kentucky, but I can't just bring it home. If you say healthcare is a right, you have to then argue that you have a right to someone's labor. It is a service industry, and we need to figure out how to get competition to work in a service industry.
I'm here trying to figure out if I'm going to have Social Security to pay my bills. I'm 81 and I did everything I could. Is Social Security dead? I'm depending on it to live. I can't get a job at 81 years old. There's no jobs to have.
Right. I don't think you can have a right to something like that. You can have a right to an abstraction, like the pursuit of happiness, but you can't have a right to happiness. We have an incredibly free and mobile society, and it's not perfect. There are poor, but the poorest in our society are richer than most countries, and we should be thankful and understand capitalism and how it brings great wealth and humanitarianism to everyone. The other thing I would say is that you have to realize that nothing in life is free. I have a $5,000 deductible. I do have to pay when I go in, but then you would have a marketplace for people paying. And if you're a believer in capitalism, why not introduce capitalism into healthcare? You would pay for most of your healthcare out of your pocket, but the advantage would be that it would drive prices down. See, we did it in Kentucky in 1994. We had healthcare reform similar to this Obama plan, and 35 of 37 insurance companies left the state and quit selling insurance because they couldn't make a profit. Well, there are a lot of things I don't like about it. I would prefer to have more capitalism. When you go to private insurance, let's say you have Blue Cross or Anthem or Humana, that's 40% of what I do. The prices are still fixed. All the doctors in my town charge the same rate because we make a deal with Humana. But really what makes people mad, and what makes even me mad, I can afford my insurance, but my insurance is going up 17% a year with a $5,000 deductible. You have to have higher deductibles. Even a heart attack can be pre-negotiated. Nothing's really free, and it will ultimately have to lead to rationing or reduction in payment to physicians. But ultimately, if you don't pay physicians to do the work, you won't have physicians accepting the insurance. Do you have a right to their labor? That's why we shouldn't increase or add to the benefits. But I would argue that we don't have any capitalism in healthcare now, and that maybe we should go the other direction. Instead of more government, let's go to see how does the marketplace work for cell phones. Things that you pay for, things that you pay cash for, the price has been going down for years. So I think there are other ways to look at it other than just saying, do we need more government? I'd say, how do we figure out how to get the great engine of capitalism and install it or bring it into healthcare? And you could choose some based on quality and some based on price, but we have none of that. That's what works in all the rest of the marketplace, but nothing in healthcare is driven by price because you have an intermediary, you have the insurance company, and it doesn't work. It's not working because we don't have enough capitalism. We need capitalism.
Why is there such a resistance now that Barack Obama is trying to do something for the people?
Well, my biggest asset is never having run and never having held office. That's what people are looking for. I think it's the year of the outsider.
You know, that scares me a little, Doc. Scares me. All right? And here's why.
Our national security is not threatened by Iran having one nuclear weapon.
Let's run down some of your positions. Iran, major threat to the United States. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been, I'm not a Kentuckian. I don't follow you as closely as people in the district.
He's not. He's a candidate, so he wouldn't know.
Here, you've said, look, I don't mind if they have a nuke. We should make a big deal out of it. That scares me.
Can I start correcting you?
Absolutely. You correct.
That's not my position.
Most of the people here and most of the people that are following our movement are people who want a less adventurous foreign policy, a foreign policy that is more directed towards protecting our national security, and that our national security is not threatened by Iran having one nuclear weapon.
Basically, those are sort of talking points from my Republican opponent. I think there's a certain uncertainty that is there from the unknown. And throughout the Cold War, we didn't announce what we would do in every circumstance.
I don't think we should.
And that was part of...
But I think the folks...
Well,
when the Republicans were in charge for 8 years, we doubled the debt from $5 to $10 trillion. Let the people in Kentucky decide, what's best for Kentucky.
Okay, but if you take Senator Bunning's seat, we know Senator Bunning would have said, look, if you have to use military force against Iran to prevent the nuke, do it. Bunning would have voted for that.
I think you don't take it off. I think you don't take it off the table.
Okay, so you're not going to say you're opposed.
I don't think you pre-announce. I think that's sometimes a mistake.